Hello everyone and welcome back to episode 5 of our Switzerland road trip. In the last video, we challenged ourselves to a pretty enduring hike to one of Switzerland's craziest suspension bridges that itself outlooks a lake, glacier, and various alpine waterfalls. If this sounds like something you're interested in, check out the last video for sure. Today's adventure begins in Grindelwald, where we wake up to cloud-covered mountains in every direction possible. For the record, Grindelwald is a great base while traveling in this region of the country due to its close proximity to Interlaken, Lauterbrunnen, and other well-known destinations. Just outside of Interlaken is Wilderswil, where we caught an Alpine train that took us to a small mountain ridge outlooking the Bernese Highlands. Known as Schynige Platte, this popular Swiss attraction has so much to offer and is a very enjoyable day trip. To talk a bit more about the railway, it crawled up the mountain at a pace much slower than I expected, but it's cool because it gives you plenty of time to take in your surroundings. The train ride usually takes anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour, probably closer to the hour mark, and for the duration of your ride up the mountain, keep an eye out for the monolithic glaciers atop Mount Eiger, Mount Mook, and many more. Once we reached the top of the mountain, we didn't really know where we were going, but I think we were all happy getting lost. I did have a few trail ideas in mind, but I couldn't tell if we even followed our original itinerary at all. We initially walked to the Schynige Platte restaurant, which offers incredible views of the surrounding mountains, and the food actually appeared to be pretty great and not too outrageously expensive, so we ended up coming back before our train ride to Wilderswil to eat here. After that, we walked back the way we came and noticed an Alpine garden. The flora was absolutely stunning here, and we also noticed these Swiss people playing their Alp horn, which is a wind instrument that was once used as a form of communication within the Swiss Alps. Continuing past the Alpine garden took us on a trail to the other end of the ridge for two seemingly unreal lakes. But the way up was also quite beautiful, providing up-close views of Lauterbrunnen and Oberberghorn. Both of these are around the 7,000 foot mark and are some of the highest points you can hike to in Schynige Platte. Once we made it to the Daube viewing platform, I couldn't exactly believe what I was seeing. As per usual with these Switzerland videos, let the imagery speak for itself because I do not have the word capacity to describe these looks. Straight ahead of us were two lakes, one on either side of Interlaken, which is the town you see below. The one to the right, known as Brienzer See, is absolutely one of the most beautiful lakes I've ever seen in my life. It looked like a glitch, which is how my brother tried to describe it, and I could not agree more. It looks like it's glowing turquoise. I just could not believe my eyes. To the left of Interlaken is Thuner See, which maybe doesn't stand out nearly as much, but as you'll find out 2 videos from now, is also a gorgeous lake in its own right. The view was awe-inspiring and would have made the journey to Schynige Platte worth it on its own, but we continued for a trail that takes a sharp right at the viewpoint and ends up at the top of Oberberghorn. The trail is mostly very easy, just like the last one, and traces the ridge of Schynige Platte, giving many more views of the two lakes. Once you get to the base of the rock spire, however, you'll notice things get progressively more technical, incorporating very steep stair sections. I always love myself a unique twist to the trail, plus it's more than worth it because of the views on top of Oberberghorn. The scenery is similar to the last viewpoint, but also allows you to look deeper into the Thuner See. At this point, we were starting to get hungry and settled with the Schynige Platte restaurant, which was an awesome decision. I got my favorite Swiss dish called Apfler Macaronen, which is basically Switzerland's version of macaroni and cheese, but it also has these delicious cubed potatoes that literally melt in your mouth. I got this dish every chance I got from mountaintop restaurants while I was in Switzerland. They also like to serve Apfler Macaronen with applesauce, which is the perfect side because who doesn't like applesauce? Now the food was fantastic, I enjoyed it quite a lot, but the views you get of the mountains and glaciers surrounding Schynige Platte while eating almost stole the show for me. This combination made me feel like I was living in royalty or something. It was absolutely a crazy experience. After leaving no tip, because that's a thing in Europe, we love you Europe, we took the railway back to Wilderswil and called our day a wrap. In totality, the short hike to Daube viewpoint was probably a little over half a mile, and if you're only interested in seeing that, you can do a 1.2 mile loop. If you want to continue to Oberberghorn like we did, that's mostly going to add around the same distance as the previous trail. Then of course you have to hike back to the station, which totals up to something like 1.8 miles maybe, and all trails are pretty dang simple minus the technical portion of the Oberberghorn trail that we discussed. But definitely if you're in Switzerland and especially the Grindelwald area, this is a must-do experience and easily one of my favorites in the country. I had a very pleasant day here and hopefully you get the chance to relive it yourself. Thank you all so much for tuning in to today's video. If you enjoyed, I would really appreciate it if you gave this video a like and subscribe to the channel, as there's plenty more content like this coming in the future. Stay tuned because Lauterbrunnen Valley and Trubelbach Falls is coming up next. Bye guys.